kasyāpi tāta dhanyasya lokaceṣṭāvalokanāt jīvitecchā bubhukṣā bubhutsopaśamaṃ gatāḥ. Rare indeed, my son, is that blessed person whose passions for living, desire to enjoy, and hunger to learn and know have been extinguished by observing the ways of men. At this stage, Ashtavakra compassionately addresses Janaka as son, which depicts the total connectivity between the two and the phenomenal compassion of a guru towards his disciple. Three things are talked about here. Passion for living. Passion for living is at the physical level. Desire to enjoy. This is at the psychological level, at the level of mind. Hunger to learn and know. This is at intellectual level. These three can also be related in a subtle manner to Deha Vasana, passion for living, Loka Vasana, desire to enjoy, Shastra Vasana, hunger to learn. We observe human beings falling prey to one or all of the above desires, suffering and repenting later on. Still we don't learn by observing them. Still we want to pursue some of these desires or maybe all of these desires throughout our life. In the earlier verse, we learned about the realized seer who has renounced, who is passionless, who is indifferent to all the pairs of opposites, which would also include passion, desire, and hunger for learning, which are in the current verse. If you see the three types of desires mentioned in this verse, while the goal may differ in each of the three, one common thing in all these three is the desire. In his own life, he has seen few with excessive body attachment, excessive body consciousness. He has seen a few who are wealthy and with excessive desire to enjoy in so many ways with their wealth. And he has also seen one or two, not many, with the vasana that they have spiritual knowledge and wanting to be praised by all for their knowledge. And while analyzing about all these human beings, it has to be concluded that they may end up in misery due to their excessive desire. Physical beauty, ability to enjoy, knowledge kept at surface level, all of them fade away when one gets older. Beauty is lost in the old age. Body does not cooperate to enjoy in any manner. Knowledge not transformed to experience in itself becomes a burden at old age, leaving one with the guilt that all the youth and middle age has been wasted and now it is too late for meditation, for transcendental experience. Even if they suppose do not experience any kind of misery and are happily living apparently and do not even know what they are missing till their death, which might also happen. One thing is sure, they can never enjoy the bliss of a realized seer after the seer has extinguished all these desires. All the desire fulfillment at worldly level, physical, psychological, intellectual, etc., happiness derived out of them is a dust when compared to the bliss of a realized seer, whether he is in a palace or whether he is in a hut. The verse talks about wise man, referring to an earlier verse, in fact, many number of verses. We know all desires arise out of perception, which fuels our vasanas, and our vasanas fueling our desires, attachment, etc. For the one who exists as a witness, there is no perceiver, there is no vasana left over, and therefore there can be no desire left over in a seer. At worst, up to the penultimate state, the desire to gain knowledge may be there. During his days of intense spiritual sadhana, upon realization, as learnt in the Katakanat analogy verse in the Atma Bodha, even knowledge prostrates and dissolves in a sage's state, which is self. For a sadhaka, this verse is of great value. They must see the following beings. They must see the fellow beings rising, playing, and perishing due to the desire to enjoy so many things in their life. Desire to keep their body at best level, and observing learned intellectuals filled with theoretical knowledge which has not transformed into subjective experience. And after seeing the above happening around them, they must commit to themselves not to get carried away in their own life with excessive attachment to body, excessive desire to enjoy in excess. Any type of enjoyment, of power, of wealth, of sex, anything. And excessive desire to know and more, and especially related to spiritual knowledge, desire to accumulate knowledge itself is a burden if it is not used, if it is not put to intense nididhyasana to get the inner experience of self. For sadhakas, the only solution when such desires arise is to develop indifference. Go back to the previous verse. And to renounce the same and be passionless. Chinmaya writes, rare indeed is that intelligent man who looks around, recognizes the hollowness of life, and cultivates his indifference to the world and its destinies. A purified mind alone can, in its subtle perception, discover a smartness in itself, to cultivate indifference to the world of sense pleasures by intelligently observing the world of tears and sorrows that is screaming at all times all around him. Hari Om Tat Sat.